السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. صدق الله العظيم. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد في شأن حبيبه: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Straight to questions. My husband has been ill for months and cannot fulfill my physical needs. Can I take divorce on these grounds? So the question is that my husband, he cannot fulfill my physical needs because of some illness. She gave me the whole detail. Of course, I cannot write down here. It's been a year, been months. We have no physical relationship with each other. He got arthritis or something. On these grounds, can I take khula? And vice versa. Let's say wife has got some conditions, and then husband comes and asks, can I give divorce on these grounds because it's been months, been years, we had no physical relationship, and I don't know, I might commit haram. I may start looking for haram or something, because I'm not going to marry someone when she's with me as well, because she doesn't give me ijazat, or whatever the reasons are. What you both need to do, whoever is in that condition, illness, if wife is in illness or husband got some kind of illness, your job is go to your wife or go to your husband, ask him, ask her that, are you happy with me in this condition? If you are not, I can leave you. Or if you are not, then I can take khula, please, or you leave me. If he says no, I'm going to live with you and I'm not going to leave you as well, then of course you can go and take a khula, because he is not leaving you and you know you're going to start committing haram. Now, why I've took this question, I'll give you the situation. One person found me and he said, I think my wife is committing haram. And this, mas'ala I get on not daily or weekly basis, monthly basis. I do get this mas'ala once in a month, that I think my wife is cheating on me. The first question now I ask, the very first question, I always ask them, how's your physical relationship, sexual relationship, how is it? If he says, yes, I'm going through some illness, and most of the time that's the case, I'm going through some illness, and it's been a year or months we had no physical relationship, I said, that's the reason. That's the reason she's looking somewhere else for haram. Or I asked them, what is your, nowadays you gotta be very careful with these things as well, unfortunately. I said, how do you look like? Are you heavy weight or something? Because girls, what they look for nowadays, they're watching movies, they're watching dramas, right? And then when they come home and they see their husband overweight and don't look nice at all, now in their mind they want their husband to be a hero, like they've been watching all day long on Netflix or outside. Or let's say them girls who are going to colleges and unis. A uni girl are 24, 25 years old, if she's married, there she's seeing all them boys, they got muscles, they got good physique. When she comes home, she sees the husband and the stomach is hanging all the way down to her ankles. She doesn't find you attractive. These are the two, questions I always ask the person. One of the two is always there. One of the two is always there. They said, most of the time, they said, Ma'am Sahab, I'm going through some illness. Yes, I am heavyweight or something, whatever. I said, that's the reason. She's looking for haram somewhere else. He said, I've caught her as well, red-handed. On the phone, she was texting. Or I caught her, she went to work, but she did not go to work. I chased her and she went somewhere else. I said, if you're going through some illness, why don't you just go to her? Ask her, are you happy? She says, no, I'm not happy. That's fine, leave her. This Islam says you should leave her. It's a Babul Aneen. If you go in the book of fiqh, Babul Aneen, that's what we are reading right now in our Mufti course. In the morning, it calls Babul Aneen or Babul Khasfi. Babul Aneen is the person who cannot make physical relationship because of some illness or there are some other issues with his private parts. Then in these bases, in these grounds, wife can take divorce and she can go to Sharia law and ask for khula. But before things get to that stage, you go and ask her, do you want me to leave you? Then leave her on a good grounds, rather than you making her committing haram. Or wives, I would say, if you are not happy, go to your husband, rather than you go and commit haram. Go and ask your husband. If he's not giving divorce, then go talk to your family. Otherwise, what you can do is ask for khula. Once the khula is done, then go marry whoever you want to, but don't commit haram. But on these bases, husband can give divorce, and on these bases, wife can take khula. Next, can Sunnis and Shias marry each other? Another very common question, especially it comes from uni boys and uni girls. That can Sunnis and Shias marry each other? The boy Ahmad or the girl Ahmad, after they found out he or she is Shia, can we marry? Fine. Either he's Sunni or he's Shia or he's Deobandi or he's Wahhabi, whoever the person is, as long as his aqaids are good. Nowadays, youngsters, Sunnis don't know why they are Sunni, Shias don't know why they are Shias. Nowadays, youngsters I'm talking about. Old people, they know very well. And I'm not talking about everyone, not all of them. Some of them, they don't know. Wahhabi don't know on what ground they are Wahhabis. I get questions from Sunni people. Oh, Imam Sahib, the guy did not read, Durood before Azan. He's definitely Wahhabi. Imam Sahib went to the masjid. The Imam Sahib and all the Namazi behind them, as soon they finished Namaz, they didn't do zikr loud, la ilaha, la, they didn't do, they all Wahhabis. That's not the sign of Wahhabi or Sunni. You want to do it, you do it. You don't want to do it, you don't do it. That got nothing. Azan before Azan, Durood has got nothing to do with Wahhabis or Sunnis or anything. You don't read Durood. You don't have to read. After Namaz, you don't have to do loud la ilaha illallah zikr or anything. You don't have to. You want to do it, you do it. There's a hadith, of course, that you can't do it. But on these bases, you cannot say someone is Wahhabi and Deobandi. Now, can they marry each other? As long as they have good aqaid. The Shia guy, if he's not saying anything wrong about Sahaba, and ask him, question him. You can question, just like you go to bank, you go to schools. When you put your children there to school, you go to internet, is it Ofsted, is it good school or this and that. You can go to them, family or the boy, that look, are you good aqaid? What do you think about Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha, Hazrat Hafsa radiallahu anha, and Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu? Main these four people, because they think these are the four individuals who killed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They gave poison. Some of them they believe, some of them. But if he says no, I've got nothing to do with this, right? I do believe that Abu Bakr Siddiq is the Afdal, and Hazrat Ali, then Usman, Umar radiallahu anhu, then Hazrat Usman radiallahu anhu, then Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu. And you can, that's fine, that's okay. And some other aqaid as well, whatever are important, and they are against that. Quran is complete, yes, Quran is complete. What is your kalma? The kalma you read, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, because they add a little bit more as well in the kalma. The La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. As long as his aqaid are good, then either he's calling himself Shia or Sunni, they can marry each other. And it's not like I'm giving this verdict. I asked my teacher, not once, 2-3 times, and my teacher knows more about Shia than Shia themselves. No one can sit with my Staji. Even Shia, they run away sitting with my teacher, Muhammad Tayyib Sahab, because he knows a lot about Shiaism. But he said if they aqaid, the boy is more towards Sunnism, then that's fine. Yeah, there can be problems if you are marrying in a different aqidah. Wahhabi, Deobandi, Sunni, even though they're saying I'm good. But tomorrow, if let's say his family start forcing him, no, you have to make your wife this, then where are you going to go? Oh, tomorrow when the children are going to come in future, when you're going to get children, the guy Wahhabi or Deobandi or Shia, they're going to say, I want to make my children Shia. And they say, no, I want to make my children Sunni. This is where the conflict starts, and this is where things go to divorce. Think about all these things, and then you can go and marry. But normally, either no matter what he's calling himself, but as long as aqaids are good, you can marry that person. Now, next one. Can a Sayyid get married to a non-Sayyid? There is no question in this. Of course, Sayyid can marry to a non-Sayyid, the non-Sayyid can marry to a Sayyid. Either Sayyid is male and non-Sayyid is female, or female is Sayyid and non-Sayyid is male. You can marry each other. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he married he got his daughter Hazrat Zainab radiallahu anha married to Abu al-As. He was Ummi, he wasn't Sayyid. Then his two daughters, Kulthum and Hazrat Ruqayya radiallahu anha, they both got married to Hazrat Usman Ghani radiallahu anhu. He was Ummi as well, he wasn't a Sayyid. 3 daughters outside. Only Hazrat Fatima to Zahra radiallahu anha got married in Sayyid family. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, who was the son of Rasulullah, biological brother, Abu Talib. So yes, of course you can marry. Rasulullah himself is marrying his own daughters outside. Why you cannot marry your daughters? Boy can marry to non-Sayyid, or girl can marry to non-Sayyid. Yes, you have to respect them so much. That's one thing. You cannot, say something wrong or hurt them or something. You have to, of course, respect them. This is the reason our scholar says if non-Sayyid girl wants to marry someone or non-Sayyid boy wants to marry someone, just make sure she or he who is non-Sayyid he or she is alima. They are alima. An alim knows, the scholar, he knows the respect of a sayyid. Normal person, they don't care. Nowadays normal person don't care about akhirah. Nowadays normal person don't care about even akhirah or Allah or Rasul. You talk to them and they start laughing. They don't know anything much about that. They only care about this dunya more. So scholar will know the respect of sayyid and non-sayyid. Yeah, that's the only little bit condition. Even though they are not scholars, still you can marry though. So non-sayyid can marry to a sayyid and sayyid can marry to non-sayyid, either male or female. The next question is going on, I think, in schools around here. I do not want to mention that school because they came to me. They told me, they said, Imam Sahib, that in schools we are given the question. The question is Shahada the most important pillar of Islam? Is Shahada, which is Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. The next pillar is Salah, then Zakat, then Ramazan, Saum, then Hajj. 5 pillars. So they say, is Shahada is the most important pillar of Islam? That's the question. Okay, that's fine. But where the problem comes, problem is we have to agree and tell them why we are agreeing with this, we get points. And we have to disagree with it, then we get points as well on that. So can we disagree with this? Agreeing is fine, but can we disagree with this? Of course you cannot disagree. How can you disagree? You have not read Shahada, read Salah, the Salah is not Salah, you just do an exercise. You have not read Shahada, you go for Hajj, the Hajj is not Hajj. You have not read Shahada, the 30 days of Ramazan, you are just fasting. You are not actually fasting, you're doing some diet or something. That's all you're doing. That's Ramazan is not Ramazan. Nothing is accepted unless you have signed the contract towards that company that I am going to become an employee of this company, then you will start getting paid. You never signed the contract and you go start working for the company. No matter what you do there, they're not going to pay you. They say you're not going to have an employee. So to become the employee of this deen, you have to read Shahada. So Shahada is the most important pillar of Islam. You have to agree. You cannot disagree. No, I disagree. Why? Okay, tell me then. Why you don't disagree? Then they have to, of course, give wrong answer. They have to give. Oh, because I think this and I think this. No, you cannot disagree with this. And you have to agree. Even though you get less numbers, you can only agree. You cannot disagree with this. Next one. Me and my wife are living together, but my elder brother has some family issues. So he's now living with us. I need to go to work as well. And my wife is at home on her own. And I'm leaving my brother at home as well because he's not working. Is that haram for me to do that? Because they both are non-mahram to each other. Brother-in-law and sister-in-law. It all depends. Sometimes we live in a joint families. Sometimes we live in a joint families. So if you trust your brother and you trust your wife, then that's fine, that's okay. As long as your wife is in the house and she got scarf on and everything. I'm not saying anything about your wife. I'm not saying anything about your brother. When you ask question, there is something in your mind. Now when there is something in your mind, you've gone to work for 9 hours. Where is your mind? At home. Thinking about your wife, thinking about your brother. When you're going to come home, even though nothing happened, you're still going to question maybe here, maybe that. Doubts leads to yaqeen. If you already doubts on your brother or you're having doubts on your wife, don't do that. But if you 100% you sure, then of course that's fine, that's okay. As long as your wife is in full parda. Me and my brother were living together here. We both were in one house. Me and my brother, our wives are both sisters and we are both brothers. So we lived like for, I think, for 10 years together in one house. Alhamdulillah. All fine. But then he got 5 kids, I've got 2 kids. So हम अभी तो नहीं रह सकते. मैं तू लैंड बांधे ना तो करने लग गया. 5 तेरे बच्चे हो गए. नहीं तू रह. मैं कहा तू कैलेंडर तेरे आवन लगे. How can I stay in this house? 7 बच्चे तू 4 80 10 जी घर रह सकते हैं ਅਸੀਂ. Then we moved out. And we lived alhamdulillah happily. Very nice, good family. And many Asians, they are living together alhamdulillah. As long as you trust each other and you have nothing in your heart, that's very important. You got nothing in your heart and you're not going to doubt and that's not going to lead to fight. Then it's fine, it's okay, as long as they're doing parda from each other. Now, another one is that, does someone have to accept your forgiveness in order to be forgiven? So let's say you have done something wrong to someone, you went to him, you asked forgiveness from him, he's not forgiving you. He's saying, am I forgiven though? Remember here, when you do something wrong to someone, you done 2 sins. One, you broke his heart and you committed sin. Now, you have to ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's sin. Sin can only be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are ibadat. Ibadat are hajj, zakat, roza, all these haram, halal, halal, haram, all these things. These are rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you have done anything wrong in those, come to me with the bottom of your heart, cry in front of me, I promise I will forgive you. But when it goes towards people, then if you have done something wrong to people, I won't forgive you until he has forgiven you. Your job is to go to the person and ask forgiveness. And if he is not forgiving you, inshallah, on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do something and he will forgive you. Another way, our scholar says, you have done something wrong to someone and he's not forgiving you. Start giving sadaqah on his name. Behalf of him, start giving sadaqah to masjid and say, Ya Allah, this is from him. This is from that person. Or let's say he passed away. You cannot ask forgiveness. You done something wrong to your parents or someone or anyone, and you can't find him, or if he's here and he's not forgiving you, start giving sadaqah, nafli sadaqah, whatever on his name. On the day of judgment, next to his scale, when he's going to come in front of Allah subhanahu, he's going to see big bundle of good reward, and he'll say, Ya Allah, I didn't do all these things. Allah will say, yes, you didn't do, but someone in dunya did wrong to you and he was kept giving you sadaqah and reward. So then maybe you forgive him here, and he will, when he's going to see his reward, our scholar says, inshallah, by seeing this reward, he will forgive you. So start giving sadaqah behalf of him, and inshallah, it should be okay. These are the few ways you can forgive people. People can forgive you. Next one is, if you are traveling and was supposed to read Qasar Namaz but missed it, do you go home and read the full Qasar Namaz or Qasar Namaz? So you were traveling on the plane, on the train. Now you're supposed to be reading Namaz there. Which Namaz? Qasar Namaz, short Namaz, half Namaz. Now you missed that Namaz. When you come home, when you become Muqim, local, when you come home, you have to read full Namaz, isn't it? But what about the Namaz you missed on the way? Do you have to read full now because you became Muqim, or do you have to read the Qasar? Remember, simple rule. The way Namaz is missed, on whatever halat, on whatever condition the Namaz is missed, on that condition Namaz will be repeated. This is how the Namaz will be read. So if you miss Namaz as a Qasar, it will be read as a Qasar. If you miss Namaz as full Namaz, you will read full Namaz. So you want to read Qaza Namaz, which you missed in your village. On the way you want to read those Namaz. You have to read full. Why? Because you missed as a Muqim. Any Namaz you missed in while traveling, when you was in Safar, when you come back home, you have to read short Namaz, half Namaz. Why? Because you missed it in Safar. Either you have become Muqim, but you have to read Namaz here, Qasar Qaza Namaz. I want you to ask, while doing ghusl, if you passed wind, do you have to repeat ghusl again? Once you have taken ghusl, remember, once you have taken ghusl, now you float water all over your body, right? And you rinse your mouth and you rinse your nose as well. I'm talking about ghusl farz, la ghusl sunnah, la ghusl mustahab. The three kind of ghusls. Maybe you heard first time. Ghusl mustahab, ghusl sunnah, ghusl farz. Farz ghusl, when you were doing sexual intercourse with wife or anything what you did, and the money ma'un dafaqun, money gushed out and your desire finished. This is the only way ghusl becomes farz upon you. Now that ghusl, once you have taken and water went all over your body, after that you pass wind, you wash yourself. After that you're only going to do wuzu, not ghusl. You don't have to do ghusl. But if you flow water all over your body, again, there's no harm in it. But you don't have to repeat your ghusl. You only do wudu. Assalamu alaikum. Can we trust takeaways that have halal written on them? So any takeaway which has the halal written on them, can we trust them? Now it depends. If some Michael Saab is inside and he's selling some gosht, and Michael is there who's cutting gosht, and John is standing on the till and is writing outside halal, I don't think you're going to trust that. But if Sharif Bhai is inside and on the till Sajid Bhai is standing there, then you can trust them. You don't have to go and ask them, Adhar Saab, is this really halal? When you go, you see halal sign on them, you don't have to investigate. If it says halal, alhamdulillah, you can trust those takeaways and you can eat. Next one is that, Salam Imam Sahab, after giving ghusl to a dead body, do we have to take ghusl? A lot of people ask this question. After giving ghusl to a dead body, do we have to take ghusl? Why you have to take ghusl? Are you dead? Oh, you was giving ghusl and did you discharge? Why? That's the only way ghusl become further upon you. Well, why you have to take ghusl? You giving ghusl to a dead body, till a maximum you can say the water you pouring on dead body is little bit went on you. That's mustamal water, used water. Only used little water is going on you. It's makruh little bit. But chalo theek hai, go and change clothes. You don't have to even change clothes. Not even have to do wuzu. Nothing at all. Never mind ghusl. Why you have to do ghusl? You don't have to do ghusl when you give bath to a dead body. Yeah, you want to save your clothes from mustamal water, because as soon person dies, a najas, the condition, it goes upon the body, so it becomes impure because of the ruh just left. As soon ruh leaves, your body becomes impure. So you give ghusl. When you give ghusl and the water you're pouring on the body and then splash going on you, it's mustamal water. मैंने नापाक नहीं कहा, ना impure water. One is the term is impure, one napak, one is mustamal, used. The mustamal water little bit is going on you. That's perfectly fine. You could want to save yourself from those even drops. You can put some apron or something, and then after that, oh, you want to change clothes, you can change clothes. If you really that muttaqi parhezgar person, then you can do the maximum. Otherwise, you don't really have to do that. यहीं पे रुक जाते हैं क्योंकि लोग ऐसे ऐसे करके देख रहे हैं। अगले सवाल मैं लूंगा, बड़े मजे के अगले सवाल। इस बीफ जेलेटिन हलाल? ये कल बच्चा मेरे मदरसे में पूछ रहा था, इज इट परमिसिबल टू मेक दुआ इन लैंग्वेज इन सजदा ऑफ एन ऑब्लिगेटरी सलाह? दिस तमाम सवाल इंशाल्लाह अगले हफ्ते इंशाल्लाह लेंगे। जज़ाकल्लाहु खैर, वमा अलैना इल्लल बलागुल मुबीन।